Rick Peterson is our guest. He has a new book that is out this week with Judd Hoekstra. Am I saying his name correctly? Yep. Co-author. Crunch Time, How to Be Your Best When It Matters the Most in baseball and in life. We're talking about here, just to control your own mind. This came about, you're saying, in the initial filming of Moneyball. Exactly. In 2009, Billy Beane called and said, Rick, they're doing a movie on Moneyball and Brad Pitt's playing yours truly. I'm going, come on. And he said, Steven Soderbergh's the director and he'd like to talk to you about the movie project. So Steven called and said, Rick, how would you like to be the technical director of Moneyball? I said, I'm all in. I don't know what a technical director does, but I'm all in. So I spent the next 5 months with Steven on this Moneyball project, and obviously we were out in Hollywood. And so one question would lead to the next, and one of the questions that everybody was very curious, what do you say to a pitcher when you go to a mound in front of 50,000 people, maybe in the playoffs? And then it became like, and they go like, well, that's crunch time, right? And I said, yeah. And I said, what about when you're directing a movie with Brad Pitt? And he said, yep, there's crunch time moments, and it's very, very critical that as a director, it's important that we control the mind. It's the mental game, keeping the mind calm and focused on the opportunity to perform under pressure. It's funny because Michael Lewis has a book out now on Daniel Kahneman, who Thinking Fast and Slow, that brings up things that you bring up in the book. And the way you put it, I like the way you put it, better than the way I put it. But you say caveman. We have a caveman in there that is making quick decisions. That's thinking fast. Thinking slow is doing the actual analysis. Talk about that rift within our own minds. Well, the caveman response sparks our inner space in our mind of fear, worry, and doubt. Fear, worry, and doubt stand on 4 legs: a lack of preparation, a lack of knowledge, a lack of insight, and a lack of talent. So if we're prepared and we have the knowledge of our craft and we have the confidence in our talent and the insight, we cut the legs out from under fear, worry, and doubt. And that's the caveman response. So when a pressure situation comes up, if we can kind of push the pause button and say, wait a second, what's the opportunity here? And shift our mind from a problem directly to the solution and get our mind focused on the solution, and then our mind calms down. The physiology of the caveman is that, the cortisol is released, your body's all tense, you're clenching your teeth, and it's all about, as we were talking about earlier with Sandy Koufax, take the grunt out and try easy. I think most people think this, and I know now after speaking to so many Major League players, but you would think you're dealing with Major League players. These guys are confident. They don't have doubt. They don't have anxiety. What do you say to that? Let me tell you right now, little did I ever think when I left Oakland that I would actually be coaching some of the Hall of Famers and Cy Young Award winners, because I thought, they got this down. Everybody has fear, worry, and doubt. You don't think Jordan Spieth has it right now? I mean, here's Player of the Year. You don't think Tiger Woods is coming into this weekend? You don't think these guys coming into, Matty Ice coming into the Super Bowl right now? He's never been there before. But the age-old question is, what comes first, success or confidence? What really comes first is preparation, because Matty Ice is going to go into this with confidence. He's never been to the Super Bowl, and he's facing someone that's been there 7 times. But if you're prepared, you know that you're going to succeed. Give someone a tip then for reframing. Like if they have a challenge coming up, big meeting, interview, something else. What's reframing exactly? How can they use it? Well, let me tell a quick story, if I can, of what a really reframe was in Yankee Stadium. So Jason Isringhausen, Izzy, as we know, was our closer. And Izzy, extreme confidence. Izzy walked in the door. He filled up that room. There's no question. Well, we go into Yankee Stadium during the season with a 1-run lead. First pitch to Bernie Williams, homer. First pitch to David Justice, homer. And he was devastated. The next day, as we talked, I said, Izzy, listen, we all have setbacks. The opportunity for a setback is to prepare ourselves for the comeback. We're in a pennant race. We can't send you to the Bahamas for 2 weeks and go windsurfing. We need you to come back. So he came back in all-star form. Fast forward, we go into Yankee Stadium. That's crunch time in postseason. Well, we bring in Izzy with a 2-run lead, and he's got to go through Bernie Williams and David Justice. Well, Bernie leads off with a double. He walks Tino, and Giambi runs over to talk to him. And I said, I got to go to the mound. I want to make sure his mind is calm and focused. So I get to the mound, I put my hand on Izzy's shoulder, and Izzy's literally quivering. I said, Izzy, are you okay? He goes, Rick, I can't feel my legs. I said, yeah, but the good news is we don't need your legs to kick a field goal. We need you to relax and focus and make one pitch at a time. So he strikes out Posada. David Justice pops up, and he pops up Brocious to close out the game. So afterwards, I asked him, I said, what did Giambi say when he came over? He said, are you okay? And I said, I can't feel my legs. So Izzy looks around Yankee Stadium at 50,000 people,
or Jason looks around Yankee Stadium, 50,000 people, and goes back to Izzy. He goes, hey, just relax. If you screw this up, nobody's watching. Right. But the reframe was to focus on hit the glove. And so in business, the question is, what's your hit the glove in business?
So that's just being aware that your mind has these things that are coming after you. Like we all have the negativity, the subconscious is working on us. You can come back to yourself. I mean, that's the awareness of that your mind will have these things. The negative will be there, and you just deal with it, and we all deal with it.
Right. You take a deep breath, and then you calm your mind down and say, what's the task right here? Let me focus on the process and execute the process, because I know if I execute the process and I'm prepared and I have the talent, I defeat fear, worry, and doubt. So
you have everything from Navy SEALs to President Reagan, right, in a debate form, Sandy Koufax and everything else. Again, the book is Crunch Time, Rick Peterson. It's out right now. People can order it right now. Rick, thank you so much.